All right, so recap of the Seahawks win against the Vikings. I mean, pretty much the Vikings had this game wrapped up. I mean, they had control of it, pretty much the whole game, even from start to finish. I mean, so you had a great play by Bridgewater, first, when they did the fourth down, when quarterback sneak, definitely audible. So that was smart on his part. So you showed the maturity of him being a leader. The Seahawks, then they went 3 and out. 15 had to run a better route. Then they did a fake punt. I think the kicker still could have been able to kick the ball, even after the first one. But you could see, obviously, he wasn't trained to run the ball, if anything like that. So I think the coach need to train him as if a situation happens like that. Whether to be able to kick it or run. I mean, because he ran directly into his own player, then tried to jump, and I mean the man got a bloody nose. And it was just too many miscues that lost to miscues by the Seahawks that actually led to two field goals by the Vikings. I think they need better clock management. Waiting to the last second. They almost had a lot of delay of game. They had to use a timeout in the second quarter. 11 minutes and 46 seconds left. And it was definitely got to give credit to the Seahawks defense. Earl Thomas, great play on third and fourth to end the drive. Wilson was 1 for 4 at that point for 7 yards, second quarter, 10 minutes left. Then they had delay of game, so pushed them back to a 3-and-16. Then it was fourth down on turnovers. Then you look at 2nd and 8, got the Wilson threw the ball to Baldwin is a little bit behind him. You got to lead him, and I think that would have been a better play. Next play, Baldwin was open, but the ball hung in the air. So again, wide open. If the ball would have been there, it would have been an easy walk-in touchdown. He was backing up. Then the Vikings safety bit for some odd reason, but definitely you got to be careful, and that's the only man. Then you have a necessary penalty by 56. I guess it was just time for these unnecessary penalties, in all these games and just looking at it. But inexcusable balls goes over Wilson's head, and they still converted and almost scored. No one was on the receiver Lockett. So you definitely got to look at it as to why nobody was around him. And, I mean, when a play is like that, I mean, this definitely is your game. Nobody got to Wilson even after the ball. And Lockett was just sitting right open in the middle, ran down there. I mean, but they still had chances to come back. Even the safety, Sendejo, missed the interception. But that's the difference between great players and good players. When you make plays like that, you could definitely end the drive and, they go in and go to the playoffs, they stay in the playoffs. I mean, you never know how far you can go because, I mean, it's hard to sit there and do that again. So then, they had a last-minute field goal and end up missing that. The laces were the different way. So, I mean, I guess if that was a deciding factor or not, I mean, he just missed it. Adrian fumbled. I mean, you definitely got to, do more ball security. It was his first fumble in 5 career post games. But then, Minnesota was the last 4 straight games versus Seattle, so they had lost. So you definitely got to look at that and credit the Seahawks, for continuing to fight all the way through the end of the game or anything like that. And they're probably going to say thank you to the Vikings kicker because if he makes that, this definitely will be talking about different things. So just want to say thank you.